This is College Football Weekly with Brian Schaible on the SportsMap Radio Network. From the SportsMap Radio studios, here's Brian Schaible.
Hilltoppers have not led yet. It's inside the one. They rush the quarterback sneak. Line of scrimmage. Reed will sneak it behind his right guard, and he's in. Touchdown Tops. He sneaks it behind Vinny Murphy. And for the first time tonight, Western Kentucky University leads UAB. It's 19-17. He takes it, he runs it up the middle. He dives for a first down. So, with just one timeout to go, you can open up the doors and let the ushers in. This show is over. The Hilltoppers can run out the clock here against UAB.
And that's some of the bigger moments of Western Kentucky's big victory over UAB, improving to 5-3 on the year, as heard on the Hilltopper IMG Radio Network. Randy Lee with the play-by-play. So an exciting couple of victories in a row for Western Kentucky, really stringing things together well after a couple losses earlier in this year, including a real heartbreaker at Indiana. And right now we have a chance to talk with the head coach of the Hilltoppers. That's Tyson Helton. And Coach, how about these last couple of performances? You have to be impressed with the way your team has bounced back from a little bit of early season adversity.
Well, I think it's that time of the season where, you're going to make a run, you need to make it. And I think, our team's a very mature team. We had some close losses in, early part of the season, and, now you're hitting that back stretch, and they know what's at stake as far as making a conference run and trying to get to the conference championship. And so I think they've responded really well. They got a great look in their eye, and the schedule doesn't get any easier. Here comes North Texas this week, and they have one loss in conference as well, and so it's going to be a tough stretch, but our guys are looking forward to that opportunity and that challenge, and we'll see what happens down the stretch.
And Coach, it seems almost cliche to say anybody can beat anybody at any time, but this year in particular at Conference USA, I don't think I've ever seen it this competitive where, there's probably 8 or 9 bowl teams. I know just last night, Florida International, they go and knock off Louisiana Tech in double overtime, so now they're back to 500. An awful lot of these teams are going to make bowl games. I mean, have you seen it this competitive before?
Yeah, I've been associated with Conference USA in some form of fashion since 1995, 96, when it first started, and as a player, and then was involved with several schools that is in Conference USA or at one time in Conference USA, and it feels back like the old days where, from, like you said, top to bottom, there's a lot of parity in the conference, and it's a fight every week, and that makes it fun. It makes it challenging, but it's you got to show up every week, and right now it's anybody's game. UTSA, they're at the top. They haven't lost a game in conference, but there's a lot of one-loss teams down the stretch that are trying to make that run. We're one of them, and as long as you can control your own destiny, that's a good thing.
I want to go back to that early loss to Indiana, because it seemed like everything was going positive throughout the whole game, and then it just kind of, to lose it at the end had to have been a difficult thing. But it sure seems like the guys took away a lot more positives and negatives by knowing they could play with anybody.
It goes back to my original statement, the maturity of our football team. When we lose, I don't have to tell them why we lost or what took place, and I think it just, makes that fire stronger inside of them to compete even harder. And I think that's what we've done down the stretch. And, but it's still not over. You're looking at 5 games that are going to be highly competitive for us for the rest of the season. The guys know what's at stake. So it makes it fun. You want to be competing for something on the back half of the season. That's what makes college football fun.
Talk about your quarterback, Austin Reed. He certainly has those qualities that seems like everybody wants to gravitate towards.
Yeah. When we had Bailey Zappi here, he was such a great leader. He had an edge to him on the field. Was obviously a really good player. And, everybody thought, well, if you were outside of this program, outside looking in, you go, well, they're going to lose Bailey, and man, there's going to be a big drop-off. But here comes Austin Reed, and a lot of similarities to Bailey Zappi. He still has a lot of development to do, obviously, but from a competitor standpoint, from a leader standpoint, from an ability standpoint, he's done a tremendous job for us. And so that's what you want in your quarterback. You want a guy that makes both coaches and players feel like no matter what is happening in a game that we're going to win the game because he's playing quarterback. And certainly that's what Austin Reed has done in his time here since he's gotten here. And we're looking forward to this last stretch and also developing him throughout next season. And so there's a feeling there as long as Austin Reed's playing quarterback, we got a chance to do some great things.
And you mentioned Bailey Zappi. It has to be fun to follow his journey at the next level and just see how he's shined so far early in his career.
Yeah, it's really cool, but it's not surprising. When Bailey got drafted, I can remember talking to him, and I would have thought he would have said, man, it's great to be a 4th round pick. It's great to be, drafted into a great organization like the Patriots and, to get to learn and all those things. And he did say that, but at the same time he said, man, I'm going there to compete. I'm going to go try to be the quarterback. I'm trying every day to get on that field, and I'm going to find a way to get on that field. And that's what the really good players do, and the good Lord just is funny how he works. I wouldn't have thought he would have played this early, but, if there was anybody that was going to go out there this early, it was going to be Bailey Zappi.
And on defense, you have a number of guys who may find their way to playing on Sundays, but 2 in particular I wanted to point out, Broderick Martin and Khalif Alahassi.
Yeah, Broderick has really done a great job in developing himself as a player. Last year he had a good solid year, but his goal was to try to become more of a dominant player, try to increase his opportunity of being able to play at the next level at the NFL. He's having a really, really good senior season. He's causing a lot of disruption at the line of scrimmage, which is what you want your big men to do. And he's just getting better and better every game. And as we go down this last stretch, that's where you're going to need your best play from is up front and from your big men. And he's certainly taken that on his shoulders, that responsibility. Khalif Alahassi is the corner, has had an exceptional year. He's worked so hard in the off season, not only, with his working on his body and his skills, but also his mind, learning about the game and trying to play the game at a high level, just playing the game with a certain maturity level like a pro. We talk about all the time, practice and prepare like a pro, and he's certainly done that through this whole football season, and that's why he's seen the success that he's had through this season. And, again, he came up last week with a big interception against UAB at a crunch time when we needed it the most, and it's just a result of all the hard work that he's put in throughout this year.
And, Coach, I remember in the 2014 and 2015 seasons, Brandon Dowdy, a quarterback for Western Kentucky, you were the offensive coordinator at that time. Did that experience, play a factor in leading to where you are now as the head coach of this team?
Well, I tell you what, Bowling Green and Western Kentucky made such an impact on myself and my family. I have 4 children, a daughter in college now and a daughter in high school, and then boys that are in middle school. And when my wife and I were here the first time, the people here are so great. And the university is a spectacular place to go to school. If you're a student athlete, everybody who comes here on a visit, they're like, okay, this is the perfect combination of a winning program, plus great academics, plus a meaningful degree, plus a true college experience, plus the people are just spectacular people. So it was the same for us. And so we had a lot of success. I was very fortunate to be on the staff with Jeff Brom. He and I were friends, and he allowed me to be in that inner world as a head coach and be a part of the things that he dealt with day to day as a head coach. And I really felt like it prepared me when the opportunity came. I never thought I'd be back here so quickly, to be honest with you. But it's funny how God works. And I just felt like when that opportunity arose that I had to jump at that chance. And I talked to my wife about it, and she, didn't even blink, and the kids didn't even blink, just because we love this place so much. And it's been a great 4 seasons. And I think, our best football and our best times are ahead of us too, as good as it's been. I think there's a lot of growing and developing that we're doing, a lot of facility enhancements that we're building. And I think you're going to look up in 5 years and say, hey, WKU is one of the leaders of the group of 5. And, that's the goal here. We want to be like a Cincinnati, or you want to be like a Houston or a Central Florida. You want to be a part of those national conversations. And Western Kentucky has already done that, but I think over the next several years it's going to continue to grow and grow, and you'll see even more of us in our brand, a part of that national conversation.
And Coach, many college football fans, of course, know your brother, Clay Helton, the head coach of Georgia Southern, but not everybody knows your father. I certainly do. He was one of the first interviews I've ever had when I graduated college, when he was the head coach of the University of Houston. But can you talk a little bit about the impact that Kim Helton has made in your life and your coaching career?
Yeah, he's been great. He's not with us on staff now here in person, but he does work from home remotely and helps us tremendously. And he's always great. And matter of fact, before I talked to you, I missed a phone call from him, and he's already sent me all his notes from practice and all those kind of things. And technology is great because it allows him to now do that and be able to, stay at home and do the things he likes to do day to day. But he was with me in 2019, my first year here. I told him, I said, Dad, I need you, first year as a head coach. There's so much wisdom you could help bring to me and help guide me. So he said, I'll give you a year in person, and then after that, I'm going back to your mama, and I'm gonna whatever help you need, I'll do it remotely. And he's been a man of his word. I mean, whether he's been here in person or remotely, he is a valuable tool, and just has so much wisdom. And we would not have had the success that we've had here if it wasn't for his input, and especially from offensive line play. That's his specialty, and he does such a great job. And he helps my brother as well. He's what he does for us. He also helps my brother, and he gives his notes and insight. And we joke all the time. I said, it's not going to be fun if we end up playing each other in a bowl game. I said, well, you're going to have to stand in the middle of the field with a white hat ref and try to be partial. He's just that kind of guy. He's got so much wisdom. People are drawn to him. And he loves sharing that wisdom with people and developing young people. And so it's been really cool to have him a part of us in my time here at Western Kentucky.
Well, Coach, it's been fun following this team and seeing you guys up close at the Boca Bowl last year. Certainly appreciate your time so much, and all the best the rest of the way.
Yeah, I appreciate it, buddy, and thank you very much.